Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready. Does anyone else feel like their personality changed after a seizure? I've had 2 seizures in less than a week and just don't feel like myself. I was on a 4.5 year seizure-free streak, but forgot my meds both times. Yes, twice, like an idiot. Of course, my memory is screwed up, and the brain fog is taking course on my screwed up memory. While I'm trying to push through. Is this normal? But I just don't feel. This is normal, but I just don't feel like myself in a way that I don't typically feel. I'm a lot quieter, talking a lot less than I usually do. I've not been interested in doing much or eating normally. I am constantly tired, even just grocery shopping. I know not all these personality related, but I just feel off. And with that, I can say my personality changed after the medication or after epilepsy. I think I kind of became a little more chill. I was doing a lot. I was way more active. I was out running the streets with friends, doing stuff I shouldn't be doing. Uh, I can tell how the medication has kind of chilled me out. It kind of made me a cooler person, I think. Go ahead, Angel. Oh, your hand's not raised. You just clapping. Anybody else? Can I get your experiences on that? How's your personality changed, if any?
Um, Other than it's meds because I think Kepper was probably the only one that really changed me to like really anger mode. But other than that, it's definitely the meds because I'm just tired all the time.
Rick?
Actually, M had her hand up first.
Oh, go ahead.
Predictably, I have forgotten, so go ahead, Rick.
Okay. So yes, my personality changed where I used to be the memory vault. People would be able to walk up and say, "Oh, do you remember blah blah blah?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that was, June 6th, 1986, we blah 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 blah." Or, people would like I would be the one to settle arguments because I had a memory like that. Or people would be walking on college campus and, "Hey, where's Mandy? Oh, don't you remember she had a doctor's appointment at 2 o'clock?" But like I was that person. And I'm no longer that person. I've been with my wife now for 26 years, and she's still getting used to me saying, "I don't remember," because she's never heard that phrase come out of me before. Uh, I'm also more subdued. I have people around me saying a little bit more cranky. Um, so that's definitely a big change. And a lot of it before I was on medication. So I think that's more the epilepsy versus the medication. The medication just enhances the tiredness and also the memory.
Liz, how's your personality came to?
I don't know. One thing I have kind of noticed is I'm kind of almost jealous of you guys who feel like more tired with your medication because my Lamictal, for whatever reason, keeps me up. I have horrible sleep problems, and I can't take like melatonin either because like it screws with me. It interacts with the medication weird, and then also just in general, like I hate that extra groggy. And you know the meme of like when you take the Walmart brand melatonin, it's like all these like nightmares and stuff, like literally that. But in terms of like personality changes, I don't know, sometimes just kind of depressed about the situation and then, just having to make jokes at your own expense to kind of deal with it is has been me.
Okay, so yeah, good thing you're here because one thing I was gonna say is I heard that melatonin isn't good for us. Benadryl, pomegranate juice, and chamomile. And you said you're taking melatonin, and you also said you're taking Lamictal, which does cause insomnia. So I don't get really. I'm not gonna say I don't get really good sleep unless I smoke. So, um, yeah. So smoking to go to sleep sometimes, and sometimes I run out of weed and it doesn't work right. So
I know
yeah,
that's the thing that gets me too, because I work government jobs, so I haven't been able to, take edibles or smoke, so it's just kinda like a little extra, "Oh, that really sucks." Because I used to take edibles when I was, younger before working in government. It helped me a lot with sleeping and just generally not, feeling shitty throughout the day, and now I can't really do that, and, recently my meds got upped after that last seizure that I had, and it's kind of been making my sleep, like, significantly worse. Like, I'll just lay in bed for, like, a couple hours before I can even, like, slightly doze off. So, I don't know if that's kinda, like, bring that up to the neurologist to see if they have any, like, advice or just kinda, like, hope it gets better over time, like
I'm gonna bring it up at my next appointment because I haven't in the past. So go ahead, Angel.
Oh, I didn't know my mic was my hand raised. I was just
No,
gonna
your
say
mic is
I'm on.
on, so I was just
Yeah,
assuming. And what'd you
I'm
say?
on. I'm on for epilepsy drugs. So yeah, I'm gonna be tired.
Oh, I understand that. I understand tired with anybody. That's why this is here. It says, does anyone else feel like they need more sleep now that you have epilepsy? I'm gonna say yes. Uh, Sometimes I don't think it's more sleep. Sometimes I think I need maybe an extra nap. But then there's sometimes where I feel like, oh, everyone's getting up in the morning. I feel like I still need to sleep. So I have those times, but then sometimes I just need a few naps in a day, which isn't regular, but it's the pills, so can't avoid it. Anyone? Anything? No?
Thought I
I
just
think
answered
I'm
it.
kinda opposite.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't wanna interrupt anyone. No, with, like, taking naps, I don't know, like, I wish I could, but I found that if I take naps, like, maybe an hour nap, 2-hour nap, like, I wake up and I feel almost like, twitchy and not all there. It's, like, not restful sleep, and it just kinda, like, makes me feel like it's setting me up to have a seizure, and I know, like, my first neurologist kinda, like, recommended, like, "Oh, a lot of people with, neurological issues, they, like, take naps, but it's not, like, restful sleep that actually, like, contributes to your nightly amount of sleep." I don't know if that makes sense, like, the hours when the sleep is, like, spread apart, like, they don't all add up, like, it's not adequate sleep, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Um, Rick, anything?
Yeah, I used to be known for not needing much sleep, where 4 hours a night was worth it, what I needed, and now I feel like I can never get enough. I get a 7 hours in a row, 8 hours in a row, and I wake up and like, okay, when's my next nap? So I definitely epilepsy changed me with that.
Anyone else feel like they need more sleep now?
Oh, heck yeah. I felt like that for years. It's like, yeah, and speaking of sleep, it's bedtime. But I thought, I know when I was on lamotrigine, I had insomnia that was literally, it was making everything worse. And I had so many breakthrough seizures because of that. And it wasn't until I went on lacosamide on Vimpat and that I noticed how bad the insomnia was. And now I've had a bout of insomnia where I'm just not getting enough sleep. But yeah, I never felt, I forgot what it felt like to have enough sleep since I I started taking the meds and having the seizures and all of that. But I don't know if it was the epilepsy that changed things or is it the meds? You know, I don't know. But yeah, I never get enough sleep, but I do have to go to sleep now. So I'm gonna say good night, guys, and I will see you Friday. Have a great week. Be careful.
I once
And
heard Rick say the medications that, what did he say? The medications that don't cause drowsiness are the ones that don't work.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Good night.
Or you have a
Hey,
good
Have
night.
have a good one.
We got more people coming. I'm hearing my computer. But another thing, another one next to that sleeping thing, I think they're starting to suggest things for me after they hear me. Says, does anyone spend most of their time sleeping? I was diagnosed last year and was having symptoms the 3 years prior to. I can barely stay awake anymore. Being tired all day and sleeping feels like it's taken over my life. I even fall asleep at work. I'm missing out on so much, it scares me. I don't know if it's the medicine making it worse, but I feel useless. To add more details, I'm seeing a therapist, two different neurology specialists. I'm on depression medication and two epilepsy medications. The previous meds I was on were even worse, so this has been an improvement. I'm not choosing to sleep. I do have an active life, or did at least. I just can't stay awake. Battling depression is hard when life is. I'm fighting an uphill battle with no energy. Sometimes I'm fighting myself to go to sleep, but lately it's just been eating right. I mean, not eating right, eating at all, and taking these vitamins have helped me not want to sleep all day. Um, Wake up and eat something. Sometimes I just take out the garbage just because going outside in the air, it'll wake me up a little bit. But yeah, I'm trying to get on a regimen of not sleeping so much, even though it's what the pills do to you. I'm working on it. And anybody else going through sleeping problems, I say it gets better with time. You just got to work on it. Go ahead, Rick.
So, as I said before, I used to get by on very little sleep. And, you know, I'm very grateful because I fully understand things could be a lot worse. I fully get that. However, I used to make people tired by telling them all the stuff I would get done. And I would think nothing of it. Oh, I did this, I went here, I did there, I helped my son with his car, I went over here, all these different things. And people were like, man, you're making me tired hearing what you did over the weekend. I'm like, no, that was just Saturday. So I was used to go, 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 go. Now I go where I go food shopping and I'm like, wow, that's it for the weekend, I guess, because I just want to sleep. So it's taken a toll on a lot of people around me because they were used to me helping them dig this, helping them build that, helping them work on this. Whereas now it's like I could do one thing. Um, I'm also, I used to make fun of people who needed naps when I was younger. Karma's a bitch because now I need a lot of naps. So it's I don't want to say I'm depressed. I'm upset because I feel like all my free time I spend sleeping. Had a conversation this evening when I came home from work and went right to take a nap. That I said, oh yeah, I'll take a half-hour nap. 3 hours later, I woke up and I said to my wife, I'm like, I can't stand this. And she's like, you know what? We're working through it. It's okay. I won't drag you around places. I said, but I like getting dragged around places because I like doing things. So I kind of feel like I'm missing out on a lot.
Yeah, sleeping. I hate that. It does take up a lot of my time.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. I was going to say you got to be careful with the meds because, like me, I'm on multiple anti-epilepsy drugs, and sometimes the mixtures can really be very, very effective. When I was on a mixture of lacosamide, which has been bad, Briviact, uh, clonazepam, which is also Klonopin, and there was a fourth one. What was I on? Methoxamide, and it was just like the second I take the Briviact, I'm going to fall asleep. I'm too tired, even if I had plans to do that day. And when you get that, go right to your doctor and tell them, look, this is it. Take me off of it.
Yeah, that sounds like it absolutely sucks, Angel. Couldn't imagine. Fortunately, I don't go through that for the moment. As of now, I could say. I got something here, and sounds like it says nobody cares about me anymore since I have epilepsy. Before I had epilepsy, I had friends. I used to go out and have fun. Now no one's asking me, not even my relatives. They simply stay away from me. When I asked a friend why people treat me like this, she said, because I am different, even strange, and they don't feel comfortable around me. Have you been completely abandoned by everyone around you because of your epilepsy? I wouldn't say completely abandoned, but I know what they mean. Yeah, yeah, friends just they haven't been through it other than seeing me having it. So yeah, I guess they did start keeping their distance. I wouldn't say not being friendly, but yeah, you notice when you have to go see people and they're not coming to see you anymore. And say that.
Yeah, I think people don't know, like, first of all, what a seizure is. But second of all, they don't know what your seizure is, and you could like secretly be having one at any time. And then they also don't know what to do. And I think that that makes people who genuinely care about you like very uncomfortable. And I do wonder if sometimes I think people think it would be better for you if they weren't around just because they don't know what to do or handle.
I have my core friends around me, and I understand, like, they have their own uh um life. Like, they have to, you know, deal with like their job and stuff and their kids and stuff. So yeah, I know that part, but I understand that feeling like, man, my friends are not here. But yeah, I do understand that. So I look at both sides of the perspective. Um there's my cousin I can go to pretty much if I need to more often, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to be a burden to them.
Rick?
So I've lost a few friends. Some of them I kind of cut off myself because, as I was struggling with the brain surgeries and recovery and all the fun stuff that went along with that, I realized that, hey, they're not even reaching out to see how I'm doing. And then I would like, reach out to them and like, hey, I know you got relatives in Louisiana that are dealing with hurricanes. Everything going okay? Oh yeah, they're safe. Thank you so much for always asking. Thank you so much for, always reaching out and blah, 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 blah. And I'll throw in something like, by the way, I have my second brain surgery coming up. They're like, okay, hope it goes well. And then nothing. So I'm like, you know what? I don't really need that because I got enough to deal with. And then other people, they kind of distance themselves a bit, I think, because either they didn't understand and thought that I was being distant, or they didn't know what else to do. And they thought maybe leaving me alone to rest was what was needed. So I spoke with them and I let them know, like, hey, now's the time I need to hear from you. Now's the time, if I'm sleeping and I wake up and see a voicemail or a text, that's awesome. If I'm awake and I'm incoherent, but I see that you're contacting me, that's awesome. Don't think that, I better not talk to him for 2 months because he's going through this. That's the wrong way to do it.
Yeah.
I like what
Liz?
Rick. Oh, sorry, Liz. Do you
Go ahead.
do you want to say something?
I didn't see what Liz said, but
I Rick, what you said about having your second brain surgery, like that really like first of all, that's really terrible. Like people should ask you about that. Even if they are afraid of the answer, and that really fucking pisses me off. And I'm sorry that people didn't just ask you, people who were supposed to care about you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that like despite what I said earlier, I don't forgive those people for letting their uncomfortableness get in the way of not reaching out or not asking. It actually like really pisses me off. And I think if one of my friends told me I have brain cancer, like I would still want to know, I would want to know everything about it, even though I don't have brain cancer or a CSF leak or whatever. So I cut those people fucking out of my life, or I give them like very few avenues into my life because fuck that. Like you can't juggle somebody like babying somebody else as well as trying to baby your own brain.
suicidal ideation. I would never kill myself. I have never thought of a plan. I have every intention to live a very long, happy life. I have no mental illness or family history of mental illness, but sometimes it pops into my head, just the no more epilepsy thing art of it. I hate the thought of having to take medicine the rest of my life. I hate the embarrassment. I hate being babied. I hate feeling like the bald kid with cancer. I want it to go away. Has anyone ever felt like this? Just want to be over part of it. To be clear, I'm not suicidal. It just pops into my head. Everything what he said, yeah, I hate being babied and stuff and all that, but can't get past that. That's the way people know how to, I guess, soothe us when we're coming out of something that traumatized them. Um, yeah, like you said, do you ever think you want it to go away and be over with? Yeah, that's part of it.
I think it definitely has taken a hot minute, but I don't really think it hit me until just like literally a couple months ago, where I wasn't fired from my job, but I had to resign, mostly because they couldn't. So it was 911 dispatching. You have to be available 24/7, right? But I couldn't work night shifts because I could do awake during the day on like my days off. That's what triggered that last seizure, and so they weren't able to accommodate an ADA note that my neurologist gave them, and so they're like, we can either fire you. Or you can resign, and if you resign, it looks better on a resume. You can't apply for like unemployment, that kind of stuff. Though I'm like, I will take not being fired from a job. But that's like really when it hit me, because it was the first time that epilepsy has like kept me back from something that I love, because I love dispatching. That was one of the best jobs ever. So I think it really is like sometimes you do need like a bit of a traumatic event like that for it to like really sink in of like, hey, I have this really shitty disorder, and like I can either choose to like pretend it doesn't affect me, or I can just say like, hey, this is like genuinely affecting me like on the daily, and I need to take this seriously before it starts like overtaking it, like other huge parts of your life. And at least for me, I mean, like I can't drink, I can't stay up late, like I can't drive right now. Like it affects a lot of things, but losing my job is definitely really what cemented it. And I've had this for 9 years.
Rick?
So I fully accepted it. I knew something was wrong before I got properly diagnosed with the brain abscess, and then having the surgeries and knowing about my personality changes, knowing about the memory changes, et cetera, et cetera. So I let people know when I first started my new job, April of last year. I carry a notebook with me and I have my phone out taking notes. And I let them know, hey, I had 2 brain surgeries. My memory's not as good as it used to be. I need to write this down. Then when I was diagnosed with epilepsy this year after the seizure in March, I got myself a bracelet that I wear at work that says epilepsy. I let a lot of people know on a daily basis. Everybody's probably tired of hearing it. Epilepsy, epilepsy, epilepsy. Sitting in the cafeteria, I'm like, you know what? It's too loud in here. I got epilepsy. I don't want to get triggered. So people, they understand. They know. I embraced it. I let people know I'm at a birthday party. Hey, I may need to leave early because I have epilepsy and I don't know how I'm going to be here. Or just in general, I let people know. I've accepted it, and I definitely feel the people around me need to know.
Angel or M?
What was the question again?
Have you accepted epilepsy, or
Oh,
how do you get to accepting epilepsy?
I think I pretty much accepted it. It took a bit. Uh, like I said, I've been feeling it since I was 14. I'm 42 now. So, going through puberty into my 20s, I would say it took probably longer than what it would take somebody with an older mindset that's can you know because the 14, the child wants to be feel
Child.
normal and stuff. They want some type of normalcy to fit in, and it's just it took a bit to accept that I have epilepsy. I can't do this and I can't do that. And I think one day I was just out with my friends and stuff, and it was them like, yeah, I need to accept I have the epilepsy. My brother, all my friends and everything. And now it's like my daughter, she's 4 years old. Like I gotta be around here for her.
M? Oh, you haven't been diagnosed with epilepsy. I forgot.
I have not, but I feel like um just like that part of it. I mean, what was it? 10 years ago, I told somebody I was having deja vu all day long. And I said, "Oh, and you know how like you recognize strangers like sometimes all day long?" And they were like, "No. No, actually, that can be a seizure." And I was like, fuck that." Like, I'm not gonna go get checked for that. And then I had a bunch of accidents where I cracked my skull or broke my ribs. So it took me so long, like it took me so long until I was having like basically psychotic episodes after my postictal whatever it's called, to go to the doctor. And then the doctor didn't really do anything. But now I feel like doesn't matter. Like it just doesn't matter. You just have at a certain point like have to move on. And even if you don't get diagnosed, it's like you have cancer and they tell you that you don't have cancer, you still have cancer. I just kind of have to, you just have to move on. I don't have better advice than that. As long as the people around you know what's happening, yeah, and you get on good meds. Like I think too, I don't know how old this person is, but some of that I think is just getting older too.
Yeah. Like I've said it before, it gets better. But some people you can't say that to because they're still early 20s, teens, and some people are just getting it later in life. And it gets better isn't something they want to hear. But it does. Over time, I think it just took some getting used to. And the things that bothered me so much, it was just like, this is not going to change. Like being in front of people having seizures, I was just like, I want to stop this, but I cannot. So time to just go about it. And I kind of got a little careless after a while. But yeah, like in these past 10 years, I've gotten the most worried about my seizures than I've ever been and actually start paying attention to them. Within the past 5, I got a little more health worried about it. I got worried about it making my health decline in the long run. So yeah, it's been rough. Um, Plenty rough. I got something else here. It says, does anyone else have these? Have you or your doctor know what these are? Okay, so first I should mention that I started off full seizures at 15. They are the most scary and painful things imaginable. Anyway, for those, they were triggered by a sudden noise or being startled. I was conscious but no control, or the first several seconds. The only they only happened when I got startled. After I started taking lamotrigine in 1999, those went bye bye. Thank God. Now my question: these started about 6 months ago, 6 months into after starting my full seizures, and have never gone away. I think they are reflex partial seizures. What happens is a sudden stimuli happens, most mostly sound, and all of a sudden I feel I'm going into a seizure. I'm fully conscious and can talk, but I grab the nearest thing by me and all my muscles contract full strength. I have no control where I grab or kick, but keep myself as calm as I can and count them down. They don't hurt unless I grab something sharp or kick something hard. They keep me from driving and are embarrassing. It takes about an hour to fully recover. The only thing that prevents them is clonazepam. I take one or two before doing something like swimming. The strangest thing is, after I had my first daughter, I didn't have one for 9 months. 5 months after my second daughter, I used to call them scares since I felt like I was going into a seizure. I called them partials. Now, no signal on ambulatory EEG, though. After all these years, maybe you guys have clues. I
I
think I lost the question. Go ahead, Rick, or anybody.
I don't know. That's a heavy medicine. They're on a benzo, but um, my mom gets startled easily, and I get like scared that she might go into a seizure. But hers is because she can't. She's actually going deaf, so so I'm partly like her caregiver too. But you know, yet she's my caregiver.
I feel you. We help each other type relationship.
Yeah, and I'm her oldest. So, but yeah, a scare. I never experienced that, a scare to send me straight into a seizure. So I can't relate to that part.
Yeah.
They said they had a reflex seizure. Is that what you said?
Um, I think you just said full seizures, and they get seizures from being startled. She said, I called them partials. Yeah, yeah, that was a weird one. Any opinions help you guys? We're trying to help people.
I don't know.
Someone will
I've
hear your
never heard of
voice.
that. I've never heard of it. I've never experienced it. So I'm curious about it.
Yeah, me too. That does make me really curious. Let's see. Let's
Where's
see.
Kate when we need her?
Uh,
This is a Kate moment.
Kate is somewhere. Actually,
Yeah.
Kate is Kate. Kate's doing Kate. Um, got something here. Oh no. It says advice. I have two sons with epilepsy. My youngest, who is 18, has had refractory epilepsy since he was 3. He's controlled now, but it took a long time. My middle son has autism and he has started having seizures 2 years ago when he was 18, completely out of the blue. He's on 200 milligrams of Lamictal twice a day. He just had another seizure after his medication got increased 2 months ago due to another seizure. Two questions. One is, has anyone had issues with Lamictal or have other medication they take with it? Two, what do people do after a seizure? Do they have time off from work or stop going out for a while, or do you go back to normal? It's a tough one for me because I'm petrified of him having one out of his own, but I don't know what to limit his life to. Um,
First of all, it sounds like it's a definitely genetic through your family, but as far as it goes to limiting them, don't limit them. Let them try to live. Let them set some type of like um I'm trying to think of the word. Trying to think of the word boundaries or like a plan so it can be safe for them. But like I done stuff and went with my friends, you know? Like even now, if my friends, uh, my best friend, his wife has the GPS tracking my phone all the time, you know? So if I'm out, she'll know like exactly where it's at. Um, and we gone to movies and everything. Um, don't limit them. It's just going to make it worse. It's going to bring in more depression and uh they're going to have to deal with a lot more.
Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, so being on lamotrigine, like this, I'm assuming OP is a woman, her son is. I personally haven't had side effects from it besides like increasing my doses recently made kind of my sleeping a little shit. But definitely what Angel's saying, I think like just having open communication is the most important thing and not like telling them straight out, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this without, setting up some kind of like how do you feel doing this? Like I've had seizures and I've gone to work, like an hour later. It just depends on like how it affects you. Or if, your postictal stage is like, I need to be in bed for like the next day and a half before I fully recover to be able to function in society again. I'm not a parent, I don't have kids, but I can definitely understand like her being concerned because, you know, it's a serious condition, but also like not making the condition be the only thing about her sons, if that makes sense. Like you don't see your son anymore, you see your sons as this condition. And like every time you look at them, you just think epilepsy, you're gonna die type thing. And just I don't know. I feel like she also needs like a healthy mindset on this. And like Emma's saying, like definitely therapy probably for all of them at this point would be really beneficial, in my opinion.
Sounds good. Go ahead, Angel. You're on mute.
I believe she also asked about problems with Lamictal and other medications. I had a problem with it was while I was on Kepra, and I was also on Lamictal for the second time in my life. And I think I wasn't maxed out on Kepra, but I was on a very high dose. I didn't know it was the Kepra doing it, but every time they pushed the Lamictal up dose because of I had a breakthrough, it kept making the side effects of Kepra worse. And the Kepra was not holding back my seizures anyway.
Yeah. I found the definition for refractory epilepsy. It says intractable or drug-resistant epilepsy. Refractory epilepsy, also known as intractable or drug-resistant epilepsy, is a condition where seizures remain uncontrolled despite trying at least two anti-epileptic drugs. This type of epilepsy can lead to frequent medication changes and may be characterized by various seizure types, which can affect treatment options. While the exact cause is refractory epilepsy, is not fully understood. It may involve changes in the body that lead to drug resistant treatment options, may include alternative medications, lifestyle changes, or surgical interventions. Seizures and kidney failure at 18. I'm 29 now, but have been dealing with seizures since I was 18. I was hanging out with family for 21st birthday party and had a few too many drinks that night, not knowing my kidneys were failing. I just enjoyed my night. I went to work the next morning and drove 2 hours to church, to the church I was doing some work at. Everything was normal with the exception of a terrible hangover. I started working and I remember going into the bathroom, but I don't remember anything else. The next thing I know, I have my boss and two police officers standing over me asking if I was okay. I couldn't speak. What I thought was what I thought was speaking was just a gargled mess. The paramedics arrived, and by this time, I was able to speak. I told them I didn't want to go to the hospital, but I climbed onto the gurney so they could check me out in the ambulance. As I was being wheeled out, we entered the main lobby of the church. There I witnessed a crowd of people dressed in extremely bright white clothing. I couldn't see their faces, and they never spoke or moved. I got to the ambulance and ended up fighting with four firefighters, paramedics, and two cops because I was having a seizure while going out the door and came out of it swinging. When I got to the hospital, I was finally able to speak again and asked my mom who all the people in white were, and she said there was no one else in the church except the rescue personnel and my boss. I'm religious and have fought with myself for so long about this. It is extremely vivid still to this day, and I can't seem to find any answers for this experience. After getting tests done, my doctor told me I was lucky to be alive after realizing my kidneys were almost completely done for. Miraculously, no dialysis was needed either. I drank nothing but water for 2 years and healed my kidneys. I have had seizures a couple other times throughout the past 11 years, but I have never again seen people in bright white. What did I see? Is there a medical explanation? Their question was, "What did I see?" And is there a medical explanation? I don't know what you've seen. It sounds like it sucks. It sounds like what what's her name? What M was explaining, saying that she sees like black shadows, and sometimes I get that too. It's not necessarily white and bright, but yeah. Anybody advice on this?
Um, oh, M logged off. Yeah, I did see that but I don't know if it. I think it was definitely before I was having seizures, or I guess before. But yeah, that one shadow thing could have been a sign. I would say get it checked out. I don't know.
Go ahead, Liz.
I think, have there been cases of people coming out of tonic-clonic seizures having like hallucination afterwards? Because I mean, this really does. It sounds like they either lost consciousness for a little bit and then were kind of like, I don't know, in some weird like dreamlike stage, or their brain was still like so screwy that they're just low-key imagining things. I've personally never had that happen. I'm very thankful because that sounds absolutely terrifying, but it'd be one of those things that I would definitely bring up with a doctor or neurologist next time you see them. Like, hey, is this normal? Because it's really weird.
Yeah, that's normal. I've came out of it fighting the ambulance. I mean, the paramedics and stuff. And when I came to, I was fighting paramedics. I don't remember starting it or the conversation. I don't remember getting inside the ambulance, but I remember waking up and there was like a slight attitude from myself. I guess I was a little irritated afterwards. I guess we might have had an argument or whatever. And I was in cuffs. But when I got to the hospital is when they told me I got into it with a paramedic. And I was like, what do you mean got into it? And they were just like, we don't know if you guys were fighting, but they had to restrain you inside the ambulance. So yeah, I hear a lot of people say they wake up to doing bad stuff or wake up in bad positions. I woke up and actually I wouldn't say I was woke. Yeah, I just started peeing outside. I wouldn't say I was woke. When I came to, I was already in the car headed home, and they were like, "Hey, you just peed all in front of the store. The cops were watching you." Or yeah, or the time I had a seizure and I was in church, I just got off and walked away, and my family was like, "You guys, you just had a seizure up there." So yeah, there's times where afterwards I'm not knowing what the hell's going on, and I react in the wrong way. Sometimes the reaction is good. Sometimes the reaction is totally off the wall.
Yeah. I remember one time, like I said, I don't know what was happening, but my dad told me, and I don't think I fell to the floor yet, but he said I hit him so hard. Like, I basically just like punched him so hard with all my strength. Like, I, I went Hulk on him.
Mm. I've been told that someone said, "Oh, you get that Hulk strength when you have a seizure."
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been told, but I don't remember. And yeah, that's mostly people trying to hold me down or stuff like that, and they can't. They're like, "Wow, well, you weren't this strong before you had a seizure." Yeah.
Yeah, they don't expect it, and then they try to hold you down. But they tell us don't restrain them, just give them open space and try to get them onto their sides.
So I got something else here. It says, "Feeling like a burden. Hi, I'm 20-year-old female. I've been having seizures for around 2.5 years now, and lately everything has been getting to me. I've just finished my last year of university and I've gotten into a relationship. My partner is very supportive and comforting when it comes to me having seizures, but I'm worried about being too much of a burden or stress on them. I want to live with them next year, but I don't want to be too much on a plate, even though they continue to reassure me that I am not a burden. Does anyone else feel the similar way or has any advice on how to stop feeling like a burden? Um, I constantly feel like a burden. I
Yeah.
think that just comes with epilepsy, and we lose our independence, and you need people for certain things. I mean, for a lot of things, and just needing people, I've come to feeling like the burden thing. I'm not gonna say just get over it because it's not easy, but that's what I had to do to help me feel better because I feel like asking people sometimes being that burden, sometimes you don't get the answer that you want to when you're also being a burden. You're getting the, can you help me with this? And you get a no. So eventually I just stopped asking people because I don't like the roll in your eyes or the huff and puff in your voice because I'm asking you a question when this is something that you know I might need help with because I have epilepsy. So to stop feeling like a burden, I stopped asking people for certain things. I tried to figure out solutions to do certain things by myself. And even if I can't do it, sometimes I'm just going to do it because I don't want to bother anybody. And then after a while, I was like, "Oh no, my health is getting bad. I'm done with trying not to be a burden. I'm just going to let you know what's going on." Yeah. So eventually, if you don't stop trying to feel like a burden, or then the feeling like a burden part, that can get to you too. Just your head and like you're always, I'm feeling like a burden. That can mess with you too, and it can make you depressed. But yeah, to stop the feeling like a burden part, I said I'm just gonna stop asking people, and then eventually I was just like, I'm not gonna stop asking people. And yeah, my health is more important. I gotta make sure I'm healthy for my family and my kids. Anybody else on similar ways
Liz?
to not feel like you're a burden?
I feel like, at least me personally, I'm always gonna feel like at least a little bit of guilt, which is super screwed up because, like, if you have epilepsy, it's not your fault. Like, you just got screwed over. In the case of this girl, again, I'm always gonna say this: communication is the most important thing. Like, she needs her partner to fully understand like what he's getting into if he wants to continue the relationship. Because I mean, quite frankly, it can really start affecting your mental health being, if your partner has this disability, you need to like be ready. Hey, in case of this is what I need to do. Or if they get seriously injured, this is what I need to do. Or like, this is possibility, they could potentially have a seizure and die. Like, am I mentally and emotionally ready for like that kind of situation? So I think all of her feelings are super valid, especially with being so young and having this. And apparently relationship seems to be going well and her partner seems to be reassuring her, but just like making sure that he has like a full comprehension of what it is, being with someone. And we don't know the status if her seizures are controlled or not, or what kind of medication she takes, or like other symptoms, stuff like that. But communication, like, I will never shut up about communication. It's the most important thing.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I think burden and guilt just comes with the territory. It's never going to go away, no matter, even around those that support you the most and keep you the most positive. You're always going to feel it. Um, and like Pookie said, like, I do try to do things on my own, and sometimes I'm the one being like, "What are you doing? Stop! 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 Stop!" You know?
Right. I'm sorry to cut you off, but to that, the stop, 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 and then not let me do it, I hate that. Like, you're gonna tell me don't do this, but you're not gonna help me do this.
It's
I,
like I'm trying to do something for me, for
right.
my own.
You don't want me cooking over the stove, but you're not gonna cook for me, and I'm hungry. Um,
I'm,
just
I'm
doesn't make
I'm trying to
sense.
do some backyard work. No, stop.
Right. Rick, did you have something?
So two things is I always remind people that, well, if you were in a wheelchair, would you feel like a burden if people had to help you get around? Because that's not fair. Epilepsy is not fair, and you didn't ask for it. And also think of things that you can do to help out. Are you able to cook? Are you able to plan meals? Are you able to plan grocery shopping? Are you able to help people out with their homework? I mean, there's all sorts of things that you may be able to do to help lift that burden. If your neighbor's constantly giving you rides, are you able to help by pet sitting? Are you able to help by pulling weeds in the garden here and there? You always find something that you can do to make you feel better about yourself so you don't feel like a burden. But people around you, they shouldn't be feeling like that you're a burden because they're helping you. You're allowing them to do service for you. So all that says is don't feel guilty. Don't feel that you're a burden because you're not.
I got something here. It says, what would you do if your parents told you, there's nothing I can do, you need to find a girlfriend? Wow. Mm.
I never had that problem.
Yeah,
I
I
think
never had
it's
that
hard.
either.
I think it is harder though for somebody with epilepsy to wanna um because this sounds like a young person trying to deal with epilepsy. It is harder to like try, like you might be feeling ashamed or embarrassed about it, and don't, please don't be embarrassed or ashamed about it. It's not something you can do. um that's from experience. But i I have, I mean, it all depends on, I think, personality too. Um, I have, like, I think a lot of epileptic people or people with epilepsy, however we prefer to say it, um, tend to attract positive people in our lives, or they like us because of the positive that we blow up, we give out, because we've been through shit. You know,
Mhm.
we've been through some shit.
You got something, Liz?
Yeah, so this post was a little, I don't know, maybe it's just me kind of missing a point of it, but is it their parents are telling them that they need to find a partner to like take care of them or to like get them to move out of the house, or do they not really go into other specifics on that?
No, it just says my parents said, what do you do when your parents say, I can't help you, you need to get a girlfriend? I'm
It sounds like a
assuming because,
toxic household, honestly.
yeah. Um, like I said, I didn't have to go through that, and that absolutely sucks. Like telling someone, like, they're my parents. Yeah, that one's rough. Find a girlfriend. It's like telling them basically go use somebody. Find somebody who's going to deal with your epilepsy. I'll see you later, Rick.
Good
Is it
night, Rick.
11 o'clock over there? It's getting dark over here. I need to turn on the lights because it's not 11 o'clock,
Yeah.
but
Have a good one. Sorry to interrupt.
it's all right. Yeah, that's rough. Having
Feel
someone
it
tell
is
you you
out.
need to get a girlfriend.
That's just rude, but at the same time, it's like I never been through that situation.
Yeah, and then that's like telling someone to use somebody. Like you're telling me basically go find someone else to put my burden on. Basically, that's how I felt about it. You're telling me stop bothering you about it and go find a girlfriend. That's exactly how I felt, and it makes me angry sometimes. But there's people out there that I said we just gotta deal with them from a distance. Once you figure out things like that, I know it's the mom, but I mean the parents. I don't know if it's dad or mom, but I just start distancing myself from people who I notice just aren't caring about my epilepsy. Like you know everything, but you're not caring. I avoid that. It's just gonna stress me out and probably have a seizure. Um, yeah, anybody that takes me to a point where I feel like I might be in a bad position, might hurt myself or anything, or you make me depressed, avoid you by all means. Liz, anything?
No, I think I'm gonna pull a Rick. It's only 8:30 here for me, but it's close to my bedtime, so I think I'm gonna dip out also.
Okay, yeah, it was nice having you. You're gonna come back Friday?
I will try my hardest. I'm actually holding a ceramics class for Girl Scouts in the evening time, but I'll try to catch at least an hour or two in earlier in the day on that because this is fun. I really enjoy this.
We'll be on usually till late. So look, it's like 11:30 our time, so we be on till late sometimes.
Yeah, it's 8:30 my time, and Angel, when I get off at 10, it's 1 his time, and he's usually still up, the last person with me every time.
Yeah.
But
Oh
I
my
support the
goodness.
family. I
yeah, that
support
was
the
the whole.
family.
We've been here for almost 9 hours, so yeah, you won't miss
Yeah,
it. You'll have time. I mean,
I think.
unless you go to a work shift or something, and you do an
Yeah.
8-hour shift, then you might barely
Oh
catch.
yeah.
But
The
otherwise, we'll
last.
be here.
Go ahead. I was going to say the last time we were going to get off one time, and M asked us to stay up a little longer, and we stood up for her. You
Yeah,
know.
we stayed up till like 10:40 something. I think
Yeah.
she said she had she was scared because something was on our balcony or something like that, and
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't a person, but it's still weird something. And we stayed up just going
Oh my
on and
god.
on till like 10:45 my time. So I know Angel, it was like 2 o'clock his time, and he was just up all willy nilly, just not thinking about the clock or whatever. So yeah, we
Oh
do
man.
that.
It's family here. We created. Pookie created a community.
Yeah, you guys, 1 second. I got a doorbell. I heard you, Liz.
But yeah, it's really special. I was hooked after my first
No,
time.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely wonderful, honestly. I'm so thankful to have found the subreddit and then all the information and stuff like that because this really has helped me. This past month or two has been a little rougher than the past handful of years. So just finding people that actually like get what I'm going through and like understand what's happening and then, just kind of get to chat back and forth, get other people's experience and a big range of people. It honestly, this has been so beneficial for my mental health. I'm not even gonna lie.
I get
You
that
know,
a lot, and I'm glad you
being a
came. And I really
yeah.
like that, knowing that people who needed this actually came.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of us have become regulars. So, yeah, you start coming, start getting to know everybody, and yeah, check out the YouTube channel too, so you can see what we've been doing in the past. Yeah,
Okay.
catch up.
Well, that sounds good. I'll catch you guys on Friday then.
All
Yeah,
right.
also check out the YouTube channel. There's
Okay. All
link
right. I'll check it
somewhere on
out.
my
You guys have a
page.
good night.
You too. So Angel, we're last again, unless someone
We're
else
last.
joins us.
You wanna end it or you wanna keep? I took my meds, so I'm like.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. I'm gonna start getting up and going to eat and stuff like that, and
Yeah, you
chill
need
with
to
my
eat
kid.
something. I'm gonna be your like Pookie. Eat something before you start.
Yeah, like I said, my son brought me something, so that was pretty good.
I'm
But,
gonna DM you every time before you start. Like, eat something.
yeah, my kids, they love me. They make sure I take care of myself. Or they're micromanaging taking care of me. But anyway,
That's good though.
you have a good night, Angel. And it was
You
always
too.
nice to be the last person with you, of course. And I'm gonna get something to eat and take my pills and get ready for bed as well. Maybe a couple hours by the time I'm done eating and chilling with my son and stuff like that. Got my kid.
Yeah.
Got my kid
Go
for the
take care of
summer.
that boy. That boy
So,
needs you more than I do.
yeah, I got him for the summer, so that's usually how it
Oh,
works.
the summer?
Yeah, I get him for the summer.
Nice.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.